Stream is up on YouTube and Twitch. We are on the Odyssey app, 95.7 FM, AM 950. We will have shots coming up and happy hour on the way. Mike Danger's out today. Max is here. Now, the disclaimer here being that everybody's favorite vacation spot is different. I talk to people that love the Outer Banks and that every year they can't wait. Maybe it's Florida. Maybe you're like the Dandalorian who he will be back on Thursday. Dan Drummy, one of our producers, he goes with his family to the Adirondacks and literally he disappears. He looks like a mountain guy and he disappears into the woods and that's it. And that's his spot, right? And I like for some people, and I told somebody where our spot is, and they said, hey, it was our sales director, Mike, like Cape Cod. Oh, I hate Cape Cod. All the traffic and everything's overpriced and everything's towards. It was just going down the list of grievances, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. But you know what? It works for our family, and I love it. So when I'm, looking, I spend way too much time looking at my phone. Okay, true confession. I just put the damn thing down, turn it off. I can live without the damn thing. So I just notice, and Max, you and I are friends, like, hey, look at this. Max is on Cape Cod, and you're just kind of going around different restaurants and everything. And I'm living for 1 week vicariously through Max. There's something you told me just today.
Yes.
And if you're regular to the sports bar, this is like a Ryan Leaf interception. You know where this story is going. Okay, so Max, you stayed in Hyannis. And what was your review of Hyannis?
It was nice.
Yeah,
we didn't do too much around there. We went to like one or two restaurants, but we went out a lot.
Did you take in Chatham? Did you take in Yarmouth?
No, we actually never hit those spots.
Never hit those spots. Did you take in Provincetown?
We did.
You did. How did you like Provincetown? Different, right?
It was a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
And if you're a regular listener to the sports bar, when we first learned about the new love interest of one Bill Belichick, Belichick, who spends his summers on Nantucket. Sidebar, you didn't go to Nantucket, did you?
No, I did not.
Overrated.
I believe it.
Totally overrated. Money, everything. No, you're just not worth the money. I digress. Provincetown can be fun. A lot of great restaurants, different vibe there. Different store where Jordan Hudson's mother is either the manager or owns Toys of Eros. Max Sheedy, our fine producer today, did you go into one Toys of Eros in Provincetown?
I did.
Oh!
I did. I had to check it out. I heard about Jordan Hudson's mother being the manager from the show, and I was like, I'm in the perfect place. I have to go.
You have to go. And so I can just, I think we have let me ask you the question this way. Most of us, as we're talking about this, have a visual what the store might look like.
Mm-hmm.
Is that visual correct?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so all right, we don't need, it's a family show here. We don't need to. Question number 2. Did you see anybody that looked like that could have been Jordan Hudson's mother?
No, there were two men running the shop. There was one guy, and I have to mention this.
Okay.
He was a worker, and he was in a full leather getup.
Okay.
And
well,
he
he's
was
just in the
kind of
spirits.
dancing.
He's dancing and having a good time.
In the middle of the store.
You should have said, hey, can I meet Ms. Hudson?
I should have.
You should have.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't think that people don't go in there? Be like, hey, I'll buy something if I could. Next summer, if you go up there.
This was my first time in Cape Cod as well.
So that was, okay. So
yes.
I'll give you that. So you weren't going to Provincetown as a destination. You were just kind of, going around and.
Yeah, we went to Provincetown. We went to Boston.
Okay, so you had a full agenda there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was it. All right. When you told me you went to said Toys of Eros.
It was an experience.
It was, yeah.
They have a little museum in the front of the shop.
A museum?
Oh,
like this is what people in the 1800s would...
Exactly. Yep. And I do have photos
What?
of that if you'd like to see
I
later.
don't. No. I'm totally fine with that. Now, the only thing that would have been better is if Bill and Jordy stop by. Do you think he calls her Jordy? I don't know.
I don't
know. That was well.
I can't imagine it, but maybe.
That's our fine producer Max Sheedy, who when you're working for BetMGM, does PJ or does Kate or do any of them put you on the mic? You're totally 100% behind the scenes, right?
I try to be. I'm a little camera shy, a little mic shy.
Yeah.
So
well, and if you're watching for it on YouTube and Twitch, it says Mike Danger. That is, indeed, the camera's the other direction there, man.
Oh,
there
hey.
you go. Yeah, turning to it. That's Max flashing deuces there at the camera. Max, thank you for coming in today. Happy hour on the way next. Let's talk. Bill's made a move today. Ooh. Not the one you were expecting, but something we'll talk about nonetheless. 866-4FAN, 866-4326. This is The Fan Rochester. Buffalo Bills making a roster move this afternoon, cutting punter Brad Robbins, signing a veteran in former Eagles, Texans, and Steelers kicker, punter, I should say, Cameron Johnson. This according to Tom Pelissero. Joe Brady on how he approaches this week.
I have a little more energy going into this week, but I like to think if our process is where it needs to be, we're going to start over. We were just as hard watching the tape as we would win or loss. We're going to come in Wednesday ready to go with the same approach, and we got a huge division game this week, and so obviously it was important to win, but I want our guys to know, like, hey, we got to start over, and I hope guys kind of understand how important the process is.
Bills a 7-point favorite against the Jets this week. The Rochester Red Wings begin their final homestand. It's Pride Night tonight as they take on Buffalo. The Yankees hosting the Tigers, the Mets in Philadelphia. Syracuse basketball announcing a rough draft of their schedule. Gene Battaglin, the sports leader. The Fan, Rochester. I don't think we had punting move on our bingo card today. Welcome into happy hour here at the sports bar. And if Danger's not here, I just want to say something. And I might get my hand slapped for this. Okay? But we rock the ratings. July 2025, Nielsen. This is the #1 sports talk show in the 3 to 6 slot. So for anybody who says otherwise, okay, either you're really bad at math or you're a liar. And if you work there, you work for somebody that's really bad at math or a liar. But then I would say this on top of this, and if that doesn't get me in trouble, this might. That's also the same company who, when it comes to radio in Rochester, did not give Brother Weeze the proper send-off, kicking him out the door. That doesn't say anything about Weeze. It says something about you. You. And shame on you, because you put a stain on the rest of us, okay, that go to work every day. That is not the way you send out a legend. And I don't know if there's any other show that is going to comment on this, but as an intern for WCMF back in the year 1992, okay, and that guy meant a lot to a lot of people. And times have changed. I get that, but I just wanted to get that off the chest. But, yeah, bad at math and liars, or maybe a combination of both. 585-8664-FA at 866-4326. See, the Danger's not here today. I'm just like, okay, Dad's not here. I could say whatever I want. Max is doing a fine job at the controls. If you would like to call there, I feel a lot better having said that. By the way, like, we say those sort of things when we're out on location, not sometimes on the air, I'm going to get my hand slapped or whatever, but we will be at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack this Friday, 3 to 6, for the aforementioned Nielsen July 2025 #1 sports talk show in Rochester, New York. That will bring you to a new spot here, like Remedy, Finger Lakes Gaming. Fantastic. They've got the live music coming up Friday night. We will be talking football with you. So anybody that lives in Canandaigua, anybody that lives, heck, anywhere on the east side, Victor, Pittsford, or you just want to take the drive over from the west side and play a little over there. Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack, Remedy, which is right inside of there. Danger Eye and the Pizza Dude. That's always the bonus there, because some people want to meet Derek. 866-4FAN, 866-4326. Before we get to the Bills roster move here, there was also this. Picuelli and other, management figures meeting with, hey, there's Josie Altador, there's Doug Flutie. Hey, they're at the stadium where the Toronto Argonauts play. And the Bills with Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment announcing some sort of new partnership where they're going to promote youth football and they're going to grow the game of football, which I would just ask the question, like, okay, what's this really about? Okay, do the Buffalo Bills really care about 10-year-olds playing flag football in Toronto? No. What's in it for Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment? Why would they want to help who they might be viewed as a competitor, the Buffalo Bills? That's the interesting question. I could see why the Bills want to do this. There's money to be had. We've been over this. Toronto, it's like the number 4 market if you added them all up in North America. Lots of money. Much more money than Rochester and Buffalo combined, right? And if you can just kind of put your beak in there and wet it a little bit, yeah, people would love that, right? So I'm sure that's the ulterior motive. And if nothing else, hey, Canada, we love you. Yes, we do. Come on down. We still have a few season tickets here for sale. And, yeah, that could also be part of it, too. That's, when the stadium opens, that sales process will forever be ongoing. Get back to what's in this for Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. What they're going to sell apparently they're selling some Bills Canadian merch. Yay. All right, I'm going to tell you what it's not about. This isn't, unless I'm totally wrong here, this isn't laying the groundwork for 2.0, meaning, the drought era, something we don't talk about all that much because I think we blocked it out. It's like if your wife cheated on you, okay? That's how it felt having to go up and lend out a game every year to Toronto. Great city. Keep your hands off our team. It just felt kind of icky the whole time, right? It's just a setup that was just totally about money. That's all it was. And we were told, well, we need to do this to keep the team here. All right, well, Terry Bagula proved that you didn't need to do that. But now we're kind of reverting. Will they move a game up there again at some point? I might be wrong on this, but the new renovations at Skydome might say no. That is now fully configured for baseball. The outdoor stadium, which used to be, on the land where Exhibition Stadium was, where the soccer team plays there, where the Argos play there. The Argos, in case you don't pay attention to CFL football, they haven't played in Skydome in years. So that stadium is not configured for NFL football. I don't think they would even get a preseason game. The paranoia in me is like, hey, every year, yay, we get camp back. If they ever wanted to move camp where you could just lay the groundwork and make a heck of a lot more money, again, that's just my paranoia. Why is Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment doing this? It's just because they want to still be nice to Josie Altidore because he gave him all those years with the soccer team? Is it because of Vince Carter? Or is there something else going on here? Maybe there's going to be some cross-promotion going the other direction. I don't know. But it's on my radar. That's for sure. That's all I'll say. Cameron Johnson is the new punter for the Buffalo Bills. That's official now. The Bills putting this out. Brad Robbins, see ya. Punted 4 times, 38.5 the average. And Robbins was somebody who honestly just felt like a guy. Now that, I don't keep up on the punters, but Cameron Johnson was in year number 3 of a 3-year, $9 million deal with the Steelers, and he was let go. Got hurt last year. Tried to come back, was beat out. Cost-cutting move, so the Bills are bringing him in. I don't know at what price tag. We're still going to learn this. He's from Australia. So if we're all about building culture and doing that sort of thing, hey, to have the fun punter, that would be something. Here's my short-term concern, right? You have new punter and new place kicker. Okay, let's get to work, guys. And Matt Prater is officially up on the 53. You had to do that. Look, it's a semantics thing. When Tyler Bass went on injured reserve, it's like, oh, okay, he's out for 4 weeks. The Bills signed Matt Prater, but they only elevated him from the practice squad. You're only allowed 2 elevations. So they were either going to have to make this move. Well, they would have to make it by the Miami game, right? So why not just give Matt Prater the vote of confidence and say, hey, you're our guy for at least the short term. We're joined by Matt Perino, as we are every Tuesday. Lucky to have this relationship with Matt. And just kind of bounce the idea like, hey, what about Tyler Bass? I mean, first thing is we really don't know what's going on. How many friends do you have that suffer sports injuries? Danger, for instance, good friend, captain of our team here, right? Torn ACL. Like, gosh. Like, okay, so like if we have somebody with a torn ACL, Danger, what was your experience? Oh, it took me a while to feel quite right. And then okay, there's other sports injuries that, you keep enough. I have never met anybody with pelvic soreness. I don't know what that is. I don't want to begin to speculate. I have no idea what the timetable would be for a return for something like that. And even when Tyler Bass is healthy, you're gonna fully trust him because it was a little, to say the least, he was on notice last year, and then he hits a 61-yarder against the Dolphins to win that and kept him around for the rest of the year. I'm totally fine with Matt Prater. Proven veteran at 41. Now, can his leg hold up? Well, we shall see. But the lesson here is kickers and punters, they're readily available. Like Matt Prater, what is he doing on the street? Well, somebody probably didn't want to pay him. Let's just go with another cheaper version. You don't think the Browns would like to have Matt Prater? Yeah. Sorry. We'll talk to Terrible Take Timmy. He'll be joining us in the sports bar tomorrow, our guy. Cameron Johnson, I didn't know anything about this guy, but apparently a couple of years ago he was third in net average. Great. Fantastic. So the Bills, shoring this up today. It's one of those days, too, if you'd like to join us at 866-4FAN, 866-4326. Usually by Tuesday, particularly Tuesday after win. All right, that was great. Monday, yay, Victory Monday. We play a little Bruno Martino. We play a little this, a little that. And then we're on to the Jets or whoever the next opponent is. And, yeah, if you want to talk about the Jets and what might scare you about the Jets and recent history against the Jets, that's fine. I'm still think it's okay to talk about what we saw the other night against the Ravens. And the idea, the Associated Press pointing this out because sometimes fourth quarter comebacks, and they always put up the graphic. With 4 minutes to go, Josh Allen didn't have one of these. He was 0-16. Granted, it's not all his fault. 13 seconds would have been the biggest of the biggest. I mean, what bigger stage than that? Other than a AFC Championship or a Super Bowl. He got it done. Not his fault. Last time he touched with 13 seconds, he walked off the field a winner in that game. So stats are misleading. I get that. It's like, but wow. What happened the other night was such a change. Those are the games that the Bills normally lose. And here you are setting the tone for the rest of the season. Whatever situation the Bills find themselves in, you have a chance. In case you need to be right, you have that point now. You have that reference. Go back to week 1. And that win over the Ravens, I have a feeling we're going to be pointing to that a lot this year. Not just for, hey, this team can come back at any time, but also from the standpoint, we can talk about the Jets. If you want to say what's better for the Buffalo Bills, is it better that the Patriots or is it better that the Dolphins win this game? I would say it's a Francesa. Who cares? Whatever. I'm not measuring the Buffalo Bills against the rest of the AFC East. That might sound a little bit arrogant, but this is where the Buffalo Bills are right now. But we should make up our own division, right? It's called Race for the First Seed. And the race for the first seed, okay, they're the Bengals, and granted, they are right now, Cincinnati, a team that didn't look good, but they got the win. The Bills are 1 up on Kansas City, and they're a game and a half up on Baltimore. Okay, they're a game up on Pittsburgh. Who else do we want to say? The Chargers. The 1 seed. We're making up our own division here, our own playoff picture. We're talking playoffs September 9th. And we can do that. We're not jinxing anything. This is the expectation. And there's going to be some ups and there's going to be some downs. But now that the Bills pulled that one out, you got to be feeling good.
We do have a question on
what is your, this is the voice of Max if you're just getting in your car. Danger's out today. Max, what's up, buddy?
I'm gonna let him answer.
Him.
Basket.
Does him have a name?
Will?
Will, thank you. Max still learning here. Will, where are you calling from, buddy?
Penfield.
Will, what's up, bud?
Hey, man. So I know you were at camp. Did you really think Elijah Moore is? I know Curtis Samuel is hurt, but do you really think Elijah Moore is better than Curtis Samuel, or do you think the Bills are trying to trade Curtis Samuel?
Well, I think that in a perfect world, the Bills were trying to trade Curtis Samuel, except he wasn't available. And because he was hurt, no team was going to trade with that salary, even you couldn't work it out. To me, Elijah Moore always felt like kind of the backup plan. And granted, he was out there as a fifth wide receiver. I think he had an end around. That's about it. I mean, I think Tyrell Shavers has jumped him. I don't know that for sure, but to me, Elijah Moore feels like receiver number 5 on this team. And with Curtis Samuel, okay, he wasn't around much either. So, do we lose Will? Go ahead, Will.
And they only had 4 defensive tackles active, and then Elijah Moore was like, okay, like I don't know, it all seemed kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Will. They're gonna have to figure out something, and maybe that's something. Who was I talking about with this today? Oh, I was talking with Perino. The show and fans and advertisers all kind of blends together, but who was I talking with? Who was on the show earlier? Like, of the guys on the practice squad, all right, like, how long is it going to take for these guys that are veterans but actually got to get in football shape? Jordan Poyer, Jordan Phillips, Gabe Davis. I'll start with the last one. Gabe Davis is not healthy. When Gabe Davis is healthy, all right, then you can have that conversation, but he's not even on the real practice squad. He's on injured reserve, so he's just using the Bills' facility. Jordan Phillips feels like somebody at some point they could elevate, but considering he hadn't, done a football rep until last week in August. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. The Jordan Poyer thing is interesting to me. And when we talked to Matt Perino earlier, I just said, all right, like, how long is the leash with Bishop and Wire? Not Wire. Rap. Coy Wire. Somebody from the drought era. No, how long is the Coy Wire was not good in Buffalo. He was good down in Atlanta. Matt said it's a long leash, right? Which that's going to be the case. Like, they really don't have any other options right now. Or do they? What about Jordan Poyer? And if Danger were here, he'd be recoiling. He'd be yelling at me, bringing that up. What Matt said was interesting. Like, no, Jordan Poyer, in terms of the physicality, in terms of the hit, if you bring him in playing the Cam Ward in a dime package and you're going to bring him down in the box, okay, I kind of like that. I'm not done with Jordan Poyer, okay? Appreciate the phone call. 866-4FAN, 866-43-26 is our number. The news from the NFL today, one thing you can cross off your whiteboard there if you're looking for other ideas at the safety position. The Bills did not spend money at the safety position. I don't know if it's official yet in Pittsburgh, but various reports, Jabril Peppers signing with the Steelers. So that's interesting. The Steelers, after bringing Jalen Ramsey, are trading for him. Now they are getting Peppers. Okay, what are the Steelers all about? Are we really thinking that this is a team that could contend for that division? And Steeler fans, hey, like, you got the win. I'm not going to call it ugly. Your quarterback looked good. He looked good. But I'm not ready to say, hey, this is Aaron Rodgers circa 2018. Congratulations, Steelers. You found yourself a quarterback. You know that too. But Peppers crossed him off the list, and I don't think that, there's nothing that would lead me to believe there was anything real in terms of the interest from the Buffalo Bills. I think that was just merely fan-generated. I've got one take. It's a little offbeat. So, J.J. McCarthy, ditch the eye black. I know this is kind of like a, it's kind of a baseball writer-ish take, like, bro, you should not, but it does look a little high school-ish when you're putting all that on. Dude, it's a night game. I get people that have eye sensitivity. even on like right now, I don't like walking outside without sunglasses on. So put eye black on, but to put it all over your face, you're a quarterback. This isn't high school. I'm sorry. He looked good though last night. That was a strange game last night. And first drive, I'm thinking, all right, danger, Andy Barons, all our Bears fans. Yeah, maybe we have something. And then Caleb Williams turned into a pumpkin. Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter did an anti-Josh Allen. He just was missing receivers, comically bad at times. So that's going to be a coaching job for Ben Johnson. How does he pump the tires? The good news, and it sounds strange that it's good news because this team made the playoffs last year and you're going on the road, but I think from here's how you attack this opponent, Ben Johnson should know a thing or two about how to go against the Lions here, I would think. But then again, he should have known how to go against the Vikings, and again, it worked for a little bit. We've got shots on the way. Some of the other stories from sports we missed on, and this is kind of funny. An update on the Kawhi Leonard story. We've got a minor league hockey team that's going to be moving here too, and an update on Phillies Karen, a story that's not going to go away. Well, a couple updates on it. Mike Danger's off today. Max is taking your calls. My name is Gene Battaglia, and this is The Fan Rochester. Bills making a roster move this afternoon. They cut punter Brad Robbins. They signed a veteran in former Eagles and Texans and Steelers punter Cameron Johnson. He's 33 years old. He's from Australia. Sean McDermott talking about Josh Allen in that clutch.
He has been wired since he came here to want the ball in those situations. He's extremely calm and composed in those situations, and he's an extreme competitor. Like, if there was extreme games, there are extreme games, but I'm saying, like, he would be a contestant because he loves to compete.
Bills a 7-point favorite against the Jets. Our coverage Sunday will begin at 9 a.m. The Bills announcing a marketing partnership today with Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment in Toronto. Rochester Red Wings begin a series tonight at home against Buffalo. Gene Battaglia, the sports leader, 95.7 FM and AM 950, The Fan, Rochester. It is time for shots here in the sports bar. Last call will be coming up, too. Couple notes from the NFL we'll start off with. And it's the year 2050, okay? And I don't know if we're still – I definitely don't think we'll still be at 32 teams. How many teams are we going to be at? 40? Are there going to be teams in Europe? My question is, like, how many teams will actually play in a real outdoor stadium like we'll have in Buffalo? I'm asking this because – today, the Broncos unveiling their plan for a new downtown retractable dome that will have natural grass. Now, this is what they're trotting out in this announcement, that this is all going to be privately financed. It's going to be in the Burnham Yard area of downtown Denver. Now, that's all well and good, right? You mean to tell me after the Bagulas got all the money that they ever wanted and how Chicago can't figure this out because their local government entities are saying no, thank you, that in Denver, like the owner there, and granted, that's from the Waltons, that's Walmart money, that's they're just going to just do this on their own like we all hope. Look, this has happened in sports before. This was the owner, McGowan, of the San Francisco Giants, built that park, beautiful park. He got it done. His partners hated him for it. Hated him so much that it was years before they got an all-star game. They were, like, punishing him. Like, no, don't show others. So my read on this is, okay, that's what they're announcing. But what is the quid pro quo on this? Like, what did they do in Denver with either the city or the state in terms of the development rights around the stadium? That's where the real money is. We can build this billion-dollar stadium, but give us all the land and everything else and, around it, and we can make our own battery park. Just keep an eye on that. The other story, too, on the NFL we didn't get to, and not a surprise that, no, Jalen Carter will not be suspended. He just gets his game check. And, part of the explanation was, well, it happened, 6 seconds into the game, so really missed the whole game. So that'll be the deterrent. That'll tell everybody, Max. Our other stories we're working on here. Funny how, we move on so quickly in the sports world. Like today, this is a big story, and then, hey, we're on to the next thing. We kind of forget about it. The story out of the NBA. That last week, big story. Kawhi Leonard reportedly paid millions outside of the salary cap for the LA Clippers. Wait, what is going to be the punishment for this? Well, you can't be thinking that he's the only one that does this. Well, let's go back to the time where Kawhi Leonard was a free agent. Remember, Kawhi Leonard, he won a championship up in Toronto. He was loved there, and he said all the right things. Hey, would I stay in Toronto? Sure. This story comes out from the Toronto Star today. Leonard's representation was asking for some of the same stuff. No show sponsorships. What? An appearance fee where you don't show up? Oh, we're going to pay you anyway? They were also asking for ownership shares in outside companies. Oh, and Leonard, through his people, was asking for an ownership piece of the Toronto Maple Leafs, too. That didn't get off first base, did not work out. So Kawhi Leonard ended up in Los Angeles. Maybe he was destined to be in L.A. all along, but I would think if any of that's true and you really care about the competitive spirit, you would come down really hard on Palmer. But besides that, like if you're the owners, like all the other owners should be looking at him like, what are you doing? You're putting us in a bind if you're setting the standard that, hey, we got to pay guys outside of the salary cap. That's why we negotiated a salary cap in the first place. Can you imagine right now? Like if the Bills started doing that sort of stuff, okay, Josh, take a lot less. Where you just were blatant about it like Jabril Preppers come to Buffalo. Hey, we can't pay you, but we have this other company called Black River Entertainment. We have this Country Star. We have a few other. Would you like a piece of that company? Yeah, that's not legal. Can't do that. We love the NFL, but around the world, the NFL has got some work to do. Oh, sure, London likes the NFL. Germany apparently has taken to it. But get a load of this. By airing Chiefs Chargers on YouTube, which was great, and it was a one-shot deal. I get it. The internet. Google made it free around the world. It wasn't just here. Anybody anywhere could watch it. Take a guess how many people outside of the United States tuned in. And it's Google. They know the numbers. It's right there. It's not an estimate. 1 million.
Wow.
Which is paltry. That's it. Now, by comparison, any Major League Baseball game that airs in Japan averages 2.7 million. Now, a lot of that is, hey, Shohei's on tonight, and that's the preferred choice, or whatever it is, but it just kind of paints a picture. You know what? The whole world doesn't love the NFL like we do. Maybe after generations and generations, that'll become accustomed to, but that low number from Brazil is surprising. Also, let's keep in mind this, too, where a lot of anti-NFL people are pointing this out. If it's a Friday night, what time was that Eastern? 8 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah, I believe so.
What time is that in Europe? It's in the middle of the night. Right, so what are we really talking about here? Like, you would have to really make it destination programming, to kind of figure that out. So, yes, only 1 million people tuned in, but again, kind of destination. But I think it was funny. A lot of baseball people were jumping out like, oh, see, baseball's king over in Japan. Peyton Manning, I give him credit. Booking guests, it's a tough thing. We're lucky to have relationships with a lot of people, but sometimes you got to do an event. Sometimes you swing for the fences and you're not going to get there. I would never even think to invite the Pope on our show, but that's what Peyton Manning did. He's got the Manning cast, and it debuted last night, and it was on. I forgot to watch. Bill Murray was on. Did you watch it, Max, at all? Or
No, I never watched it.
Bill Murray, he's an acquired taste. Some people I don't get it. I think the guy's hilarious.
He's funny.
He's fun. I think anything he is in, the true hallmark of somebody that I think is funny is that you don't need verbal cues or anything. You just the look on the face or whatever it is. Like Bill Murray knows how to play a room, right? So I'm bummed I missed that. Hopefully he was good last night. Back to Peyton Manning. He got Bill Murray on. That's a good get. He's asking for Pope Leo to come on. Now, that made sense last night that Pope Leo is from Chicago. Maybe he would want to talk about the Chicago Bears. Peyton Manning showing his handwritten letter. I only did this once. It was coming out of college. I wrote a handwritten letter to Marv Levy coming on our show. And Marv, there was people said no, but that's how classy Marv, it just couldn't work out. Peyton Manning writing a handwritten letter for the Pope. So far, Peyton Manning's people have not heard from the Pope. But if the Pope really wanted to become a star, that's the sort of stuff you would do. You would go around the world and, hey, I'm the Pope, and I can do normal things that any other human would do, like watch football, and I'm gonna be here representing the church. I would encourage the Pope to go on with Peyton Manning. That would actually be kind of funny.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah. We've got an ECHL relocation that's going to be coming up after the season. Now that Utah has an NHL team, no need for the Utah Grizzlies to be playing in the same town. They've been there 30 years. Now they're going to be on the other coast, Trenton, New Jersey, which Okay, I thought about that. It's like I don't think the American Hockey League has been in New Jersey in quite some time. So that's interesting that you're going to have an ECHL team. We don't have any AHL relocations on the horizon, by the way. Amherst's season opener now, essentially a month away. Can you believe that? We've got prospect camp for the Sabres coming up Thursday. Now, full stop. Hockey people love this. And got an RIT dinner meeting tonight. Can't wait to talk Tigers hockey. I also, in the same sense, can't wrap my mind around it because here we are in the fall in hockey, and they're talking about moving up the NHL season to September. I'm hoping they don't do that. For the majority of sports fans in Rochester, my experience is it's Bills first. Ah, crap. Bills or insert my favorite team is eliminated. Out. Oh, what are the Sabres doing? What are the Amherst doing? If the Sabres were any good by the time January comes around, we might actually have something here. Well, in order to get good, you got to fill the pipeline. The point I'm bringing this up, prospects camp begins on Thursday. Can't wrap my mind around it, but get a load. Noah Ostlund, Anton Wahlberg, freaking Isaac Rosane. They're all going to be there. These are like Amherst mainstays. Like they didn't give any of these guys time off. You get the extra work. First round pick Radim Murka, who I don't think is going to be playing in Buffalo, but number 9 overall pick. He's going to be at development camp. Development camp running in Buffalo from the 11th through the 15th, and then shortly thereafter, training camp will open. Shortly thereafter, always hard for me to focus on NHL preseason, and then we get to the regular season and the glorious month that is October. Internet detectives wrong once again. A second woman has been misidentified as, for the lack of a better term, the Phillies Karen. Leslie Ann Kravitz got an assist from her employer in clearing her name. The school district having some fun with this. Quote, anyone who works for a school district, attended as a student, or lives in our community would obviously have caught the ball barehanded in the first place, avoiding this entire situation. So the search continues. This is, it says a lot about us, how we're just so focused on bringing this woman to justice. The dad and the kid were made right. Meeting Harrison Bader, getting a signed ball, getting a gift goodie bag there from the Marlins. Mm-hmm. So, to me, well, now there's another angle to this story because in this part, I just think is so weird. In the world of collectibles and merchandise, like, hey, this is the ball that Freddie Freeman hit the Grand Slam for that beat the Yankees in the World Series in Game 1, and that went for over $1 million. It's like, okay, that's people that have money. They don't know anything else to do with it. Will that actually grow in value or depreciate over time? I'm going to guess it's going to depreciate. I digress. Well, if we could pay $1 million for a World Series ball that kind of vaults the Dodgers on their way to a World Championship, what would somebody pay for this ball in an instance that, will we even remember about this 2 years from now? It'll be one of those, oh my gosh, this was like something big like 5 years ago. Somebody is offering whoever this Phillies fan is $5,000 for the ball.
No way.
Right. $5,000 for the ball.
Like, what do you get out of that, really?
What do you get out of it? Go back to what I said. People with too much money. And you're inserting yourself into the thing that went viral. So, you know, it's funny. I don't know if you could listen in when I went on with PJ, as you know. PJ Glasser, Max Sheedy, our producer, based in Rochester, is also a producer for the national MGM network. I think maybe you were doing like some other stuff, but when they invite you on the show, like when you come on our show, you get a little chatter beforehand, just like a little warm up. And I was mentioning this to PJ, like, I want college football updates. I want to see what's going on. It's a Saturday afternoon. Tell me what's going on. Everything that was coming across my feed was shame on this woman. Shame, shame, shame. And everybody had a take from every other angle, including, this was my favorite, this is not an example of masculinity. Look how this man recoils. Look how you should have been more masculine. I'm like, oh my gosh, people, just leave it alone.
Also, like, there's nothing wrong with de-escalating a situation.
Well, that's it. Like, the guy just de-escalated. Like, fine, go away. He's trying to weigh everything in his mind, I think, at that point. Like, do I want to really get into an altercation with this woman? I'm in front of my son.
Right.
I've got to try to, like, you're trying to be a dad. You're trying to, like he did it fine. Just, like, hand the ball, like, go away. It's like one of those go away. And, like, everybody in the section. But,
well, and then you got her flipping off the stadium afterwards.
Right.
It's like, how much worse could this have gotten?
Yeah, so since we went on the air, I don't know if they've identified this woman. So those were the two updates.
She can't be hard to identify.
Yeah,
like,
no,
she has
no,
a very particular haircut.
Well, she might have gone into hiding, and if she's not on social media,
The internet always has a way.
The internet will. Look. There are again. There's now a third woman that are saying this is the woman. This is the woman. I'm going to actually wait until there's actually a news story. But even when we get to that point, what's it going to be like? What's the story? Like, you've gone viral for all the wrong reasons. Like,
Right.
Who wants to sit down and actually have an interview with this woman? Woman seems like a horrible person, by the way. Would not want her as a neighbor. Would not want her as a coworker. She'd be the neighbor that, hey, you didn't rake up your leaves. Get your leaves out of my yard. Like, that's the type of person that seems like she would be. We'll take a quick break. Time for your calls. Last call, 866-4FAN, 866-4326 here on the Fan Rochester. The Blue Jays hanging on to a 2-game lead against the Yankees in the AL East. This is not over yet, folks. Not when you get this news today that Bo Bichette going on the 10-day injured list. This was the collision at the home plate. Austin Wells running to his shin guard. That kind of had to hurt. So goes back to September 7th. So this goes back to Sunday, sprained left knee, but there's no guarantee that Bo Bichette is going to be right after this. So to me, like the Yankees, if they get hot here at the end, if they could find a couple pitchers. By the way, they somehow avoid Skubal again from the Tigers, so they're not going to face him at all. Jays get the Astros, so they don't get a break. Both teams, gosh, these could all be potential playoff matchups, and that's the thing about the baseball season, and that's Danger's new thing. Try to bring up baseball. It's football season. Okay, I get that, Mike. He'll be back on Friday. Hope you can join us on Friday, too. We're going to be at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack at Remedy doing our show. So stop on out, and especially if you live in Victor or Canandaigua or Pittsford, or just want to start your weekend because they've got the great buffet there. They've got a lot of things going on. So Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack, join us, Danger and I, 3 to 6, Friday here on The Fan, Rochester. Tomorrow on the show, we will talk to a guy you know very well, Max, P.J. Glasser, and the corresponding move with Bo Bichette, if I'm doing his Baltimore accent, today from Buffalo. The Jays called up Joey Luperfido.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was my that's my PJ Glasser, and PJ loves the Ravens. And let me tell you something, Gene. I'm so down on these Ravens. I'm taking the Browns 10.5. I know that because I listened to his show. Okay, like PJ, tell us why. We'll talk to our favorite Baltimorean, PJ Glasser, tomorrow on the show. Oh, look who we've lined up for tomorrow. Team that could be 0-2, perhaps, Sunday night. Jay Binkley, 96.5, The Fan in Kansas City. Jay Binkley to join us tomorrow on the show. If you missed any of the part of the show today, you can go back and listen. Hear what I had to say at the top of the hour, the 5 o'clock hour. That was fun. Get that off my chest. Go back in time in the Odyssey app. You can listen. Thanks to Max today. Thanks to Zach for his pre-production help. And thanks to the pizza dude, as we affectionately call him, our engineer, Derek Abbey. Again, coming up next, we will have the JR Sport Brief, BetMGM tonight to follow, and then Sean McDermott to speak to the media tomorrow at 11. So you want to check out One Bills Live, 1 to 3, Bronny and Tasker. We'll keep you updated on that and the whole injury situation. Thanks for listening to Rochester's #1 sports talk show. It's the Sports Bar here on The Fan Rochester. Have a good night, everyone. JR Sport Brief next.